Hey guys, welcome to Cards and Sharps. How y'all doing? Good, glad to hear it. All right, slide your chair up and let's look at a knife. What do we have here? We have in this really nice storage box a Medford knife. Now, which Medford knife do we have? We have a Slim Midi, and it is more or less part of the Marauder series, if you're familiar with with those. The Marauder is a big beast of a knife, really thick, really robust blade. And then they made a slim, kind of a slimmer Marauder that is still pretty chunky. And then you got the Slim Midi, which is shaped and styled like the Marauder, just as the name indicates, it's slim. So it's actually a pretty slim knife. And I've previous Medford knife. This is the second Medford knife I've been able to bring in, and this one is a little more expensive than the last one I got. The last one was the Smooth Criminal, which is really pretty cool knife. Had the button lock. This is going to be a frame lock. And titanium handles. Feels really nice in the hand. Alright, let's do some of the stats on it. Could just recite everything, but we'll actually weigh it and kind of make it a little more interesting than just reading numbers. It's not a light knife. It weighs in at just over 4 ounces. Kind of my 4.23 is where it came in at there. Typically my weight for everyday carry would be in the 4 ounce and less range. To me, 4 ounces starts getting just a little heavy, but the knife is balanced really well, so it doesn't really feel that heavy. It's a lot of that weight is in the blade, because the titanium handles makes it just feel slimmer, and doesn't really have a bulky feel to it. It's just but you can feel the weight of that blade. We'll see how thick that blade stock is there. Put it here where you guys can see it, maybe. 3.14 right there. So that's a pretty thick blade stock. So, but that's where a lot of that weight's coming from. But really, right there at the pivot, it feels fairly balanced. So, feels like it would be a comfortable knife to use. I have not carried this one or taken it out and used it or anything like that at this point. Alright, just a few more things about it. Just the obvious. It's a hollow grind drop point. The blade steel is CPM S35VN. Now they do advertise that can be something different. If in a run they ran out of that, and they may use something else comparable, but this one wasn't marked or anyway to show that it was anything different, so we're going to assume that's what it is. The handle length is looks like about 4.5 inches. Got a little curve to it there, but it comes in about 4.5. It's going to be tip up carry only, and it's only going to be right hand. Otherwise, the knife is pretty much ambidextrous. Doesn't, you know, those are not flipper tabs; those are stops. So to open it, you're going to be using the cutout there, and it's not really one I'd say that you can flip. Once it breaks in and loosens up, maybe you practice with it, you can get to where you can flip it, but just messing with it here. I've been able to roll it out with my thumb, but it's still fairly tight, but it's really smooth. It's got really smooth action, good lockup, and all in all, it's a really nice looking knife. Now, the feel in the hand, the handle, it feels really nice. One thing in a knife in this price range, and these will retail around $500. So there's a couple of things I'm noticing. No jumping on the back. Now, with that thick blade stock there, you feel like you got a good grip on it. So I don't know that how bad that would be. I just personally, it feels better if I got some jumping to grab hold of there. But it does have this forward choil here where you can choke up on it, and it feels like you can get in and do some fine work with that. And for an expensive knife, it's not too it's not got any delicateness to it. The expense comes with the materials and the workmanship, not in the ornate stuff or anything like that. It's a very plain looking handle. You do have this little area right here, good grippy area that makes you feel like you get a good grip. Feel like you got a good grip on it. Now, it's pretty smooth. I don't know if your hands are wet, how well, but it's got these little kind of subtle cutouts and things like that just kind of give you some grippy areas. No real hot spots. The clip, you feel the clip, but it's finished so nicely that you don't, you're not going to get any discomfort from it or anything like that. Would like to see a deep carry clip. I suppose you could probably get, somebody probably makes deep carry for these. It's got a little hole here where you can put a lanyard in, and just feels so, just really like the tolerances are just so tight on it. It's real well made knife. There's not a spot on here that is unfinished or sharp. I mean, all the edges are nicely finished and everything, which you'd expect on a knife in this price range. For $500, I'm going to want a knife that is going to hold up and also feels like it's well put together and looks nice. And that is a nice looking knife. And the shape, the way the blade cut is and all that, it's going to be obvious that it's a Medford, and anybody who knows knives is will know that you have a quality product. Just to compare it to, just to kind of give you some scale, we'll compare it in size to some well-known knives. Start with the Rat 1. You can see they're real similar size knife. The Rat handle was actually a little bit longer, and as much as I like the Rat, you know, it's a $30 knife. Is it worth 30? Are you getting more for $30 than the dish you get for $5? I guess that's just a matter of opinion. But that's something we'll discuss at another time. And another knife, well-known knife, is a Delica. So you can see it's quite a bit bigger than the Delica. So there you kind of see it in scale next to well-known knives. It's not a gigantic knife, and it's not. It's right. You know, a nice size, a lot of blade, a lot of metal for the size though. And it, as I said, it's real similar in size to the Rat, other than the blade is wider there, and the Rat is typically bigger than I carry, and that's because of the weight. And the Rat is definitely a heavier knife than this. So I mean, this defies the physics of it. Just looks like, I mean, you look at the weight and the way it and the look of it, you just would feel like it's just going to be feel so chunky, and it doesn't. So I probably will give this one a try carrying. These days though, I'm working at home. Been working at home since March, and will be for the rest of the year, it looks like. And then they'll decide whether to pull us back in the office after the first of the year. But we're functioning fine. My whole team is working. We're all working from home, and we are functioning fine. I'm a supervisor, so it is challenging to supervise from home, but I've got a good experienced crew that's been the same crew for the last 7 years without any changes. So I think we all know each other so well, and our capabilities and what we can do, that we function really, really smoothly in these current circumstances. But with that being said, since I'm working at home, I'm really not carrying much of anything these days. I'm sitting at home working with sweats on and a t-shirt, and so not really, not a lot of opportunity. On weekends we get out and about, and I do throw a knife in my pocket on those days. Otherwise, I just got what I use laying around in my eBay room, where I open a lot of boxes and things like that. I've got knives sitting on the table that I use regularly. You know, my desk, I got a knife sitting there. So I've always got a knife within reach and everything, but don't actually have to carry them. So don't really matter how big or heavy it is. So this, for the time being, I think I'll leave this out try this out as a just everyday knife. Then on the weekend I'll give it a carry and see how we like it. Just got it in, was excited, wanted to get the video going and do a first thoughts of it. Otherwise, would like to be a little more helpful with information, I guess, after actually carrying. But this is kind of more of a first look kind of thing, and just kind of get going on knives again. Just got a shipment of knives in, and anxious to get them out and give them the once over. All right, guys, there you go. That's the Medford Knife and Tool Slim Midi. Let me know what you think of it. If you tried these out, if you had one, or these knives that you're interested in, love to hear from you guys. If you enjoy these, give me a like and subscribe, and keep watching. We got more sharp objects coming your way. See you guys next time.